One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is a 1975 American comedy drama film directed by Milos Forman about Randall McMurphy, our doomed protagonist, and his prolonged stay at a mental asylum. In the opening scene, everyone is arriving at the asylum. There is this immediate sense of routine as the caretakers awaken the patients, the nurses organize the medication, and the same record is set to play before the patients are called to take their medications. It is just another day at the asylum, but it is no ordinary day for Randall McMurphy, who has just arrived. After meeting with the doctor upon his arrival, it's determined that McMurphy is at the asylum to be evaluated after raising chaos in court. The general consensus is that McMurphy intentionally raised havoc to ensure he'd be sent to the asylum instead of doing work detail while in jail. Regardless, McMurphy is given months' time to be evaluated. This is the first time the theme of fate appears. By pretending to be mentally ill, McMurphy has decided his own fate and put himself in the mental hospital. The first patient McMurphy meets goes by the name Chief, and he's apparently deaf according to the other patients.
He can't hear you. He's deaf and dumb Indian. That's so. Come on, baby.
This over-the-shoulder shot allows the audience to feel a part of the interactions exchanged and to understand the points of view from both men. This specific shot emphasizes the dramatic size difference between Chief and McMurphy and almost looks as if Chief is looking down on McMurphy. That same day, McMurphy goes to his first group therapy where he meets Nurse Ratchet.
Mr. Harding, that perhaps you are impatient.
There, McMurphy witnesses the manipulative nature of Miss Ratchet, as well as her condescending demeanor with patients. The following day, McMurphy tries to teach Chief how to play basketball. This is where their friendship begins.
That's it. Up, all the way up. All the way up. That. Jump up and dunk it in.
It's important to recognize that McMurphy is the only person to have acknowledged Chief or even tried to attempt communicating with him. In the weeks that follow, McMurphy spends time bonding with the other patients and specifically Chief.
Hey, pick up somebody over there! Get this side, Chief! Get around, Chief! Hey! Get the ball out! No! Put it in!
McMurphy also makes the discovery that Chief is neither dumb nor deaf.
Juicy fruit. Well, you sly son of a bitch, Chief. You hear me, too? Yeah, you bet.
After frequent confrontations with Nurse Ratchet, McMurphy realizes she is more despicable, conniving, and unfair than he'd previously thought. To make matters worse, McMurphy discovers that as a committed patient, Miss Ratchet can keep him there for as long as she deems him mentally unfit. While the story is both comical and entertaining, there is nothing funny about the wicked injustice that prevails in the hospital.
You ready? Here we go.
With his last chance to escape before him, McMurphy refuses to turn his back on the injustice he has witnessed, and instead, he faces it. In this moment, McMurphy decides to seal his fate. This close-up shot intensifies the scene and shows the personal nature of the attack. When McMurphy returns, something is different. The top lighting used in this final scene reveals the price McMurphy pays for fighting injustice. While the film is both comical yet heart-wrenching, it is also ironic. It's ironic because McMurphy is a convicted criminal who was only at the hospital because he pretended to be mentally ill. And yet, the entire film he is enraged and empowered by the desire to overcome injustice.